everybody? I'm the Ackman Ryan Accavetti. I am standing here at one of my favorite paranormal and historical gems in New Jersey called Kingsland Manor. It's in Nutley, New Jersey. We're here tonight. I'm with the Vice President
of the Historical Restoration Trust of Nutley.
That's how I would have said it should my memory have worked. It didn't. So this place is a historical gem. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then it's a paranormal gem also. There's activity been reported here. We're here tonight for a paranormal investigation. As you can see from some of the settings, this place is elegant and beautiful. I just want to say that prior to coming here, my biggest fear in life was fake people. It is now fake food because I came very dangerously close to biting this.
It looks good.
It looks so real.
Yeah.
Right, that is quite tempting.
It's got the spirit of the cake.
It sure, yes, and it has mine too now. So tell us a little bit about this. This place has been through, obviously, the Kingsland namesake for the family.
Yes.
Is there other names that are associated? We were talking off camera before about the history.
It started out as a farmhouse owned by James and Mary Walls. James and John were two brothers that ran a lumber mill up the river about a mile from here. They cut the lumber at the mill, floated it downriver, and built the house for Mary and for James. In 1787, a gentleman by the name of Joseph Kingsland was living on Greenwich Street, New York City. He was a contractor, and he got a contract from the city of New York to put curbing and sidewalks, which were made at the time of wood.
That's crazy.
Now, he grew up across the river at a place called New Barbados. Today it's called Lyndhurst. He knew of the mill here on the Third River. So he came over in 1787 and offered to purchase the mill and the house from the Walls brothers, and did. But it took him from 1787 to 1790 to clear all the liens on the property, last one being owned by a woman by the name of Jane Knox of New York City. 300 pounds sterling was the final payment. So in 1790 he buys the place, but he's busy fulfilling the contract to the city and does not move his family in immediately because it's still a farmhouse, and his wife Mary is accustomed to living on Greenwich Street, New York. So for the next 6 years while he's fulfilling the contract, he plasters the walls, puts doors in, and makes it less of a farmhouse and more of the manor house that you see today. They were here, the Kingslands were here for about 200 years, 4 generations. The son of Joseph ran a paper mill. His sons ran the paper mill. They cut ice on the river here. So there was quite a lot of activity. In 1909, though, the Kingslands moved from the area and sell the place to a boxing promoter and trainer by the name of Diamond Dan McGinnity. Dan was married to a woman, Catherine Agnes, and they had a son, Bernard Charles, whose nickname is Bus. Bus was a cartoonist for a newspaper in New York City called the New York American. And Bus also ran the speakeasy in the basement of our ballroom during Prohibition. Now Dan moves out of the house. He was training boxers. One of his boxer friends was Bob Fitzsimmons, who was lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight champion.
I worked in the fight industry for a long time.
So you know that name?
The McGinnity I know, Fitzsimmons I know. So
okay, great.
Having this all tie-in is also for me very cool. I'm sharing a personal moment with you people that I'm having with Mr. Yes, you guys.
But in 1918, Bob Fitzsimmons and Dan McGinnity go to Chicago and open up a sports bar. Dan marries a woman there, Grace Little, without having divorced Catherine Agnes. Dan dies on Christmas Eve.
Can you do that?
No, you can't. It was big of him. He was a bigamist for sure.
I like to tell my wife that there's someone else in line. Wow.
Well, in any case, Dan dies unexpectedly on Christmas Eve in 1929, and all of his possessions are inherited by his wife, Grace Little. So in January and February of 1930, the actual wife, Catherine Agnes, and son, Bernard Charles Bus McGinnity, have to go to probate court to prove their ownership of the place. So for a short period of time, the place was owned by Grace Little. Bus ran the speakeasy during Prohibition. He was also a constable in town, a cop. He never really followed the rules, obviously. In 1931, Prohibition was repealed, and he gets a club license to run the bar. Club licenses work, if you're knowledgeable about American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Knights of Columbus, civic organizations can get a club license, and their members can drink without any issues. Bus, never following the rules 100%, served two gentlemen that came into his bar one evening. They were not a member of his bar, they were a member of the Alcohol Beverage Commission of the state of New Jersey. So he lost his license.
That's why you gotta learn your ABCs, children.
Yeah. He was married at the time to a beautiful woman, she was a beauty queen, named Lulu Hartman. Bus and Lulu had a daughter, Lorraine. The marriage was falling apart at the same time he lost his license. Bus, in his desperate situation, went into a root cellar that we have in the basement. There was a tunnel that went from the root cellar to the stone barn fort, it's called in one of the articles.
That's across
the way, and committed suicide. His mother now inherits the place completely, Catherine Agnes, but she does not run a speakeasy nor a colonial club. She runs a hospital, but it's not a hospital like for tuberculosis or birthing babies. It's basically the Betty Ford Clinic of its era.
Okay.
She dries out the same people that her son got wet during the speakeasy era. After 1938, Catherine Agnes loses the place to taxes, and it's owned by a gentleman by the name of Ralph Smith, who's an air traffic controller. During the period of time from 1938 to 44, the Historic American Buildings Survey, which was a chartered organization of unemployed architects that were, during the Depression, put to work. And they came into buildings which were deemed to be of historic importance to a community and to document them based on their charter. And this place was documented in 41. In 44, Ralph Smith sold the place to IT&T, a corporation in the area, and it was the vice president of IT&T, L. John Denny, lived here until the late 50s. Then it was purchased by two antique dealers by the name of Sheps, Doris and Norman Sheps, with their son Stephen. And in 1970s, they left, and a developer wanting to knock down the place and subdivide the properties went to the planning board. It just so happened that one of the planning board members knew of the HABS survey and said, no, we're going to purchase the place with Green Acres funds and save it. And that's how we have the Kingsland Manor today. Wow. So those are the families that you'll probably scare up tonight. There's quite a few.
We hope so.
Yeah.
If Kingsland Manor and Google could have a child, it would be Leon. Am I the only one listening to this being like, did I go to school? Did I even graduate?
Well,
That's amazing.
Let me get started on the barn walls.
I want to get started on something now because during this, and I don't know if you noticed it, I know you noticed it, that light flickered. And it was during the time you were talking about Bus McGinnity. And now, why is that jump out at me even more so than it normally would? Maybe I had the light flicker, so be it, you pay the bill late, whatever. But Matt Haas is going to come in now with us from Island Paranormal. And when Matt was here earlier tonight,
yes,
you guys were downstairs talking in the basement. Yes. And Matt, come on in. Right. Something similar happened, talking about the same guy.
We were having the same conversation in the basement because Leon was really excited to show us all the restorations they've been doing recently to fix up the speakeasy to try to make it as authentic as it looked back in the day. And while we were having specific conversations about Bus, I've been coming here hundreds of times, okay? We've been working with you guys for quite a few years now.
That's true.
And out of those few years that I've been coming here, I've never seen that one light bulb ever flicker, okay? I know I'm not here on an everyday average basis, and I'm not an electrician, but I am an investigator, and I know that was not normal to me, but it did stand out.
Yeah, I missed this because I was in the process of telling the whole story.
But I saw it flicker, and then I looked off camera at him, and his eyes went.
But I was pointing to Lourdes because just seconds after the light flickered, I heard my name called, no joke, right over here, and I was pointing to her. I was like, I'm hearing my name called right in my ear. I'm just like, it was loud as. It was loud.
He didn't happen to say break his legs, did he? Because he did get an AVP a few years back.
Which we'll share at the end of the night.
1 out of every 10 in Tangs, New Jersey has uttered that phrase. I don't know if that is a statistic. So now that both of you are on camera, this would be a good time too, and collectively, because we're here for a paranormal investigation tonight, we also want to make note that October 20th is another investigation here. Go to Google if you can't get Leon, and It's Kingsland Manor. It's Nutley, New Jersey. You definitely want to come to one of the events here. Paranormal activity. Anything you can share or let people know kind of stuff that's happened besides that light flickering thing, which was pretty timely cool.
We've gotten some great EVPs, over several investigations, which we'll be sharing at the end of the night, which kind of makes our events here stand out differently, because we basically save the best toward the end. We share everything at the end, and we don't want to kind of like power suggestion during the events and ruin it. We want the people who come to our events to be part of the investigation. So we let them investigate with us, and then we share everything at the end together, which I think is a great thing to do, to get everybody's experiences all in one at the end. But we've gotten EVPs. We've gotten great group interactions in the past with the Spirit Box, with the Spirit app, and we've also had people have experiences being footsteps being touched, cold spots.
You said that the door in the summer kitchen back here behind us, one room back.
Yeah, my wife and I were here by ourselves. The caretaker who runs the establishment, when there's no one here, actually lives here, and he wasn't here. We were left alone to investigate, because that's usually what investigators do. The less contamination, the better. So it was just my wife and I, and we're in the back kitchen where the original kitchen was, and we're sitting on the windowsill, and all of a sudden you hear the door latch, like, and we're sitting perfectly still, and you hear the door go, like, and you hear the footsteps, like somebody walking in the room. I was blown away. I was just like, I can't believe that's going on, And we have it documented on camera as well. We investigated. It wasn't the heat. We checked the floorboards. We checked the door for the, loose hinges and all that stuff.
Rational explanations as best you can.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna. I think this is a good thing. So we have a group now tonight that's here for the investigations. You're gonna go give them an introductory.
Right. We give the lecture, little like hour class beforehand. Then we do the investigation. There's light refreshments. Of course, there's
There's fake refreshments too. I'm gonna be in here eating wax cake, and then I'm gonna poop a candle.
Yeah. I must say it doesn't look good.
Yeah. So, and then of course you'll employ the services of Leanne once again to address the group, which is great too. When you have the historical side of it represented, the paranormal side of it represented, you've got a complete event. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So come out on the 20th. Tickets are reasonable. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better experience. I mean, and the history alone. This building has such importance to the area and Nutley, New Jersey itself.
So, real quick, we're gonna get started with that. I'm gonna finish up what we're doing now, and perhaps I'll take the live and walk around just so people get the lay of the land and see what the building looks like.
That's fine.
And then I'll join you for the lecture in a moment. So thanks for tuning in, people. I'm gonna walk around a little bit and show you what the place looks like. And thanks to Leon too.
Quite welcome. My pleasure.
It's amazing. Hey Pam Barry, Roy Poole. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so.
Whiz bang. So I'll do a little quick walk just so people can see the what this establishment looks like too. And tell me that does not look real. Look at that. I wanted to eat that. If they didn't tell me, they would have had me eating that cake. So I'll give you a little Pamela Barry. We love you guys. This.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell everybody who you are, Beth?
Hi, I'm Terry Kish. I'm a volunteer here at the Manor. Also the recording secretary and wife of Leon Kish.
Who just gave us an earful of fascinating stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's amazing. He knows his
the stuff, yeah.
And so we were just going to tell people too that this part of the house that we're standing in right now, this was not original to the home, right? The house
That's
ended
correct.
Here,
Right.
and then the
this was
summer
the
kitchen,
outside.
which is starting here. Hey, Anthony Pagano, my uncle.
Aw,
Don't criticize me on my cinematography. I'm not in the camera union.
Meh.
I'm using a selfie stick and a dream, and not in that order. So this is the summer kitchen.
Right, this was separated from the home. And this is the outside.
Well. Okay, that's the only pun I got. Hey, Hetty. And this is a little thing for short people. So do a quick. Hopefully that's the bathroom. I don't think you needed to know that. Nothing paranormal's happening in there that I know of. So this place again is in Kingsland Manor. It's in Nutley, New Jersey. And so you can see it's just beautiful. We'll take a peek at the lecture group real fast first too, and then I'll take you upstairs for a moment.
There's an area in Memorial Park called a mud hole. And the mud hole is a large pond. It was also the location of the walls.
Leon's addressing the guests for the investigation.
You're gonna take them outside too, right?
Is it not raining?
Um,
I don't want to make it too long. Hey everybody.
it's so pretty.
So quick, this is the, hey Heidi, I will not be at the Curtis house on the 26th. I will not be there. But I'm sure it will be a spectacular event that is a very, very cool place too. This is one of the bedrooms upstairs. That is not real, but it sure is creepy. If it blinks, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments if it blinks. And then I'm gonna run. Lourdes Gonzalez on camera for a second. That is the coolest looking window I've ever seen.
All right. Yeah.
It's angled.
It's angled.
Huh. It's the Annabelle tribute room.
Twin Annabelles.
I don't remember all the creepy dolls from the last time I was here, I gotta be honest.
I think they were here.
I'm sure they were. I don't think they got them just to freak me out. But if they did, it's working. There's a sign. So yeah, this is one of the cool places in New Jersey that you can come investigate. This is I think the third time we've been here. The evidence is really good here. We have gotten some good stuff, like they were mentioning before, EVP wise. I know we ran some ITC communication sessions in here before. Oh, a little dark room in here.
There's storage.
There's a light switch. Looks like it's an office.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that's cool when you come to a place like this, Roy Poole said, "Sup, girl?" And one can only assume he's talking to you, not me.
What's up, Roy Poole?
He's from Whiz Bang Paranormal. I'm just kidding. So this is the upstairs. I'm gonna try, if I think the signal should hold up, to just take the walk down to the basement. To where the speakeasy is.
I'm gonna check some of this rain outside.
Okay. So this is the basement. This is where the speakeasy was back here. I'm going to show you first the root cellar he was talking about, where Bus McGinnity had committed suicide, is located under here. We're going to actually try to do a session in that room. I might be the fool who goes down there tonight. So,
You should take them outside. It's not raining.
Eddie had her share of creepy basements. This is definitely a creepy basement. But again, a very, very cool place, and there's ties to someone who worked with George Washington, I think, had a presence here. Not George himself, as well as connections to Alexander Hamilton. And so that light is not original to the to the building. So this is new since the last time we were here, because what they're doing is they're recreating the speakeasy. So they painted the wall, and then they put the bar back in, which is really cool. That is a vacuum. Just wanted to point it out for the overzealous paranormal enthusiasts that it's not a piece of equipment, but that is a vacuum. Oh yeah,
A door with a wall.
that's a door to a wall. They call that sobriety test.
Yeah.
You open the door up to go home, you're not going home.
Bang.
That's it. Whiz bang.
Yeah, whiz bang.
Whiz bang, Mr. Pool, whiz bang. So there you go. So at least you got to see the whole establishment. We may try to go live later on too. We may try to do the Estes experiment with Echo Box and the headset. Thanks to Tim Weisberg for giving me a brief breakdown of how they did the Estes experiment. And we're going to try to see if we can do that. And I actually might go down in the hole in the floor over here to do that tonight.
Did you show them the wall or no?
I did. I didn't pull it all the way open because I was doing it one-handed.
I can help you if you want to do it. Where the tunnel.
Where the tunnel was?
Yeah. For the alcohol.
Let's see.
It's heavy. Oh no, it's not.
Well, it is, but
Yeah,
I
but
should.
I had
I need
one-
to open it the other way.
You're very strong.
I am. So you watch out. Hold on.
It's the root cellar, right?
Yes. The thing is, I need a better.
Isn't it fun? There's like a door on the floor. There's a door on the wall that doesn't go anywhere.
See if I could. Because it's kind of weird.
If you start.
If you,
I can try to help you.
yeah, and then I'll get it from there. Perfect.
All right. So that's the root cellar. You can see it. So this, at the back end of it, somewhere over there.
This way.
On this side to the left is where there was a tunnel that went across the way to a different barn structure, which is during Prohibition, they believed the way they were funneling alcohol into this place for the speakeasy located back there where we just were. I am probably going to foolishly go down in this hole tonight to do an experiment with the, actually for the Estes experiment, the ITC thing would be really good down there because you could close the door and I really can't hear, but then you have to be able to hear me talk too though.
Yeah. But I wasn't thinking about closing the door, but that would be a good spot.
Right, Paul goes, yeah, you're not coming back from in there. If they don't help me out, I'm not, because I'm too short to be able to lift this from in there by myself on a ladder. You see, there's the ladder.
There is a ladder for you.
There's the ladder right there. All right, I'm gonna close it.
Yeah.
Just don't let it go.
You have it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna close it more.
You gotta push it.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of heavy. Yeah.
All right, we'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, a lot of these places had tunnels for either underground railroad, older places that were
Did it?
built well before 1900, of course. Underground railroad purposes, Prohibition purposes.
Just to let you know, I dirtied my jeans for you.
I saw that. All right. So I'm gonna flip camera back. All right, so thanks for joining and for watching, whoever watched however long, or if you're watching on the replay. I'm gonna mosey back into the speakeasy real fast and just tell you we're gonna see if we can go live a little bit more tonight, but at the very least, thanks for tuning in for this. And October 20th, if you're drivable to New Jersey, this is in Nutley. It's called Kingsland Manor. You have Google. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care. God bless. Have a good night. And we'll probably be back again.